Mike.
Jack.
John, good
Hey,
morning.
how are you doing?
How you doing, guys?
Good.
All right, I see a bicycle, I see a car. What's going on today?
Well, we're here on a great morning. We're going to do a little cyclist and car interaction and talk about how to be safe out on the road.
Nice.
Yeah, you do a lot of cycling, right?
Yeah, in the city, actually.
The city can be a pretty dangerous place to ride your bicycle because there's so many cars around, there's pedestrians, and a lot of other cyclists. So you really have to be careful. And that's what we're going to kind of talk about today is how can cyclists be careful around the cars and how can the car drivers be safer toward the cyclists that they encounter.
I spend a lot of my time riding out in more rural roads, and it's still one of the things you keep an eye on because you're looking over your shoulder for a car. You have to pay attention to what's ahead of you.
Right.
So definitely looking forward to talking about this.
All right, well, why don't we start with car safety first? So you and I will hop in this car.
All right.
John will put his helmet on and we'll head out onto the track, okay?
All right, let's do this.
All right. One of the big things car drivers can do, you always want to give cyclists at least 3 feet space between you when you're passing them. If you can give more than that, it's even better because you don't know what quick reactions they're going to make, and you also don't want to scare them.
Right.
The other thing is, quite often when you come upon a cyclist, they can't hear you.
Okay.
All right, so Jack, we're actually coming up toward the end of our little course here, and we're going to make a tight turn around and head back the other way. Which reminds me, especially when you're on a rural back road,
Right.
and you're coming upon a cyclist in a blind turn, you really want to be careful because there could be a car coming the other way. So the best thing you can do is just follow behind the cyclist until you get through that sharp turn. It can be a really dangerous situation when you might have to swerve over and now you're gonna potentially knock the cyclist down.
Right.
And so even though everyone wants to get to their destination quickly, in that situation, just stay behind the cyclist until you get through that sharp turn.
So what happens in big cities when a driver needs to make a right or a left and there's a cyclist right next to them?
Right.
And maybe he has a blind spot and can't see them.
Right, so the cyclist has to follow most of the same road laws as the cars. But in that situation, obviously, first thing is you want to be aware of the cyclist. The second thing is if a cyclist is next to you and you want to make a right turn, you have to stop and wait for that cyclist to go by, whether they're going right or they're going straight.
Mike says to remember when parking your car or even opening a door, give a quick over-the-shoulder look to make sure a cyclist isn't coming your way.
What it sounds to me like it comes down to is defensive driving.
Absolutely, defensive driving for the sake of the cyclist. All right, well, how'd we do out there, John?
It was awesome. I felt really safe. We had really good positioning, so it was perfect. What do you say, Jack? You want to come out here and do some on-bike safety and see how we interact with a car when we're out on the road?
Definitely. I already got the car perspective. Wouldn't mind the bike perspective.
Fantastic. Why don't we take off?
Let's do it.
Okay.
John gives me my own bike and a helmet for personal safety. I also get a brightly colored vest to be seen better by drivers whether it's day or night. Finally, I'm given reflective clips to cuff my pants tight to my legs so the fabric won't get caught in the bicycle chain.
Oh, I'm pumped,
You're ready to go? I am too. One of the things you got to think about, always have your bike maintained, first of all. You don't want to just leave it in the garage and then come out and ride it. So
Right.
make sure you take it in and have it maintained. On bike safety, you want to take a look at your lights. You want to have a light in the front that either blinks or is solid, and you want to have a light in the back, a red light so that people can see you from behind.
Got it.
Also, you have to know your hand signals because the only way that you're going to be able to communicate with a car, Jack, is through using your hand signals.
Right.
So there are some key ones. Left hand out for a left turn. For a right hand turn, you could either hold your hand up like this, or you could use your right hand to point. And then finally, stopping. Since there's no brake lights on a bike, you're gonna wanna take your hand and hold it behind you so that a car can see it.
Ah, okay, perfect.
You know, one other thing to think about, Jack, is that you wanna be aware of your surroundings. A lot of people ride with earbuds in. Not a good idea. Can't hear traffic, you can't hear a car rolling behind you, you may not even hear a horn honking.
So phone calls, none of that.
You know what? If you know that there's a phone call coming, pull over on the side of the road, out of traffic, get off the bike, and take care of that.
Sounds good.
So, Jack, you know, the first thing that we're gonna do is practice the hand signals.
All right, I'm pretty psyched.
Alrighty, let's roll.
All right.
We follow Mike's car until it's time to take a left-hand turn. John says the proper way to make a left turn around cars involves 2 steps. First, signal your intention of turning left before moving in front of the car. Then, signal again to make the turn.
Hey, Jack, how'd that feel?
Felt great.
You know, one of the best things that you were doing, you were super distinct with your hand signals. For example, hard left out there when you're pulling out in front, another one when you're turning.
John and I head out onto the track one last time to practice keeping a safe distance from cars.
Never ride 2 abreast. Okay, you're gonna be weaving in and out. Always ride single file. Give yourself a little braking distance between you and the person ahead.
All right, so not to the side, but to the back.
Exactly, right in behind their wheel. Second thing you want to think about is that when you're on the shoulder of the road, which is the safest spot, you want to look ahead, not right in front of your wheel, because you want to see if there's a pothole, or there's glass, or gravel, or a stick there.
Makes sense.
Think of it also this way. Car doesn't know what you're seeing in that area, and if you have to swerve out of the way, they may not be ready.
Right.
Now, finally, a car's supposed to give you 3 feet of distance. One of the things is, if they don't give you that room, don't try to fight it. Just take your brakes on, slide back a little bit, and let them go by.
All right, you got it.
All right, well, I think you've been doing a great job today.
Hey, thanks. Well, I feel ready, John.
Fantastic. Why don't we go out for a ride?
Okay.
That's a wrap on the bikes, guys. Excellent job. Can you come back now, please? Jack, do you hear me, Jack? That's a wrap on the bikes. Guys, stop fighting anymore. We got a lot to do today.